Niko.
Kayak mau gitu dah.
Diem bener-bener pure diem gitu loh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Firstly, I would like to thank to God that has given us everything. So this time we can be here and do our discussion. So let us introduce ourselves. My name is Deyaninta Ekabriela as moderator, and my friends' name are Christian, Nicolaas, Rofi, and Zahra. Today we want to discuss about basics of communication. So please listen to us carefully, seriously, and let me begin. Okay, first, Christian and Nicolaas will explain about why are communication skills important at work. So, Chris and Nicolaas, time is yours.
Me first ya.
Yeah.
Okay. So why communication skills important? The first we will talk about the ability. The ability consists of speak, listen, making question, and write with clarity and conciseness. These are the abilities that human needs to do the communication. It is not limited by just speaking skills, but professionally, if you are applying for a job or looking for a promotion with your current employer, you will almost certainly need to demonstrate good communication skills. In your personal life, good communication skills can improve your personal relationships by helping you to understand the others, and of course, to be understood. Nico?
Now I'm gonna explain about the example of speaking. When you are about to speak, you must say it clearly and loud so the person you are talking to can hear your voice and understand it. We surely don't want to make the person is confused and didn't get our message well because lack of our speaking skills. The second one is the example of listening. Is when there are someone talking to us, we have to be a good listener. What we can do to be a good listener, we have to stay calm and focused to the person that talking to us so we can understand what they are saying to us. We can gain respect from other people from be a good listener. And then the third one, the example of asking question is where when we are about to ask some question, first thing we have to do is being polite so the people that we are asking to have intention to answer our question. And then the second thing is we have to keep our question simple. If our question is simple, the answer will be given shortly. And the last one is the example of writing. Is we have to give all the facts and the story so the readers can understand what the purpose or the main story.
Okay, I want to ask Rofi, what is communication? Time is yours.
Okay, communication is a Latin word which to share. It is the sharing of information between different individuals. It includes the sharing of ideas, concepts, emotions, behaviors, and written. Communication is simply defined as the transfer of information from one place to another. This transfer of information can be conducted. Communication is a simple process, yet showing complexity in some aspects. Different ways of communication and the distance over which one is required to transfer the information make the process complete. Communication is sending and receiving information between two or more people. The person sending the message is referred to as the sender, while the person receiving the information is called the receiver.
And then, what are types of communication? Who wants to answer?
Now I will explain about the effectiveness of communication by considering a case. I think we can understand it better by using a case. For example, consider a situation where a customer goes to a retail store and asks for a product. The salesperson does not listen properly to the customer requirements and gets the wrong product. for the customer. The customer is angry and starts shouting at the salesperson. Despite the salesperson convincing the customer leaves the store. From this situation, we can understand that the combination was not effective. That's all for me. Would you like to continue, Chris?
Communication involves. So every communication involves at least one sender, a message, and a recipient. This may sound so simple, but communication is actually a very complex subject. The transmission of the message from sender to the recipient can be affected by a huge range of things. These include our emotions, cultural situation, the medium used to communicate, and even our location. That's all from me.
Yeah. And then, what are types of communication? Who wants to answer?
Yeah.
Verbal communication. The verbal communication is a type of oral communication wherein the message is transmitted through the spoken words. Here the sender gives the words of his feeling, thoughts, ideas, and opinions and express them into the form of speeches, discussions, presentation, and conversations. That's all for me.
Okay, now I want to explain about nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is use of body language, gestures, expression to convey information to others. It can be used both intentionally. For example, might you might smile unintentionally when you hear a pleasing or enjoyable idea or piece of information. Nonverbal communication is helpful when trying to understand others.
Besides those two types that mentioned, we can also communicate with written communication. It includes writing effective emails and business letters. However, whether using verbal or written communication, we need to focus on the words that we use, especially in working environment. We should avoid words that are critical, judgmental, or harsh, which tends to create a resistant and defensive mindset. We should select words that normalize the issues and problems and reduce resistance. That's all for me.
So now I want to know about the process of communication. Christian, can you explain?
Okay, about the process of communication, uh, the steps or the process of communication, however, is not as smooth as barrier-free as it seems. From its transmission to receive, the message may get interfered or disturbed with at any stage by many factors, which are known as barriers to effective communication. One of the factors is poor choice of communication method. Nico?
Now I'm gonna explain about the elements in the process of the communication. The first one is sender. The very foundation of communication process is laid by the person who transmits or sends the message. He's the sender of the message, which may be a thought, idea, a picture, symbol, report, or an order, and postures and gestures, even a momentary smile. The sender is therefore the initiator of the message that need to be transmitted. The second one is message. Message is referred to as the information conveyed by word as in speech and write-ups, signs, picture, or symbols depending upon the situation and the nature and importance of information desired to be sent. Message is the heart of the communication. The third one is encoding. Encoding is putting the targeted message into appropriate medium, which may be verbal or non-verbal, depending upon the situation, time, space, and nature of the message to be sent. The fourth one is channel. Channels refers to the way or mode the message flow or is transmitted through. The message is transmitted over a channel that links the sender with a receiver. Receiver is the person or group who the message is meant for. He may be a listener, a reader, or a viewer. Any negligence of the part of the receiver may make the communication ineffective. The receiver needs to comprehend the message sent in the best possible manner such that the true intent of the communication is attained. Decoding. Decoding refers to interpreting or converting the sent message to intelligible language. It simply means comprehending the message. The receiver, after receiving the message, interprets it and tries to understand it in the best possible manner. Feedback. Feedback is the ultimate aspect of communication process. It refers to the response of the receiver as to the message sent to him or her by the sender. Feedback is then necessary to ensure that the message has been effectively encoded, sent, decoded, and comprehended. It is the final step of the communication process and establish that the receiver has received the message in its letter and spirit. That's all from me.
Now I want to explain about what is factor that will affect the communication. For the first is coding. Encoding occurs when the sender translates information to be sent to a series of symbols. When encoding, the world experience itself influences one's choice of symbols, such as mental, physical, and physiological symbols. The following factors influence the way people communicate ideas. For the first is attitude, perceptions, opinion, and emotions. For the second is decoding. Decoding is the process by which the recipient interprets the message and translates it into meaningful information. Decoding is influenced by the following factors. There are past experience of the recipient, personal evaluation of the symbols and movement, and hope. When the meaning hope is because people tend to hear what they want to hear. For the third, there is noise. Noise is a factor that interferes with confusion or interferes with communications. Noise may be internal, where the receiver is not paying attention, or external, where the message is disturbed by other sound in the environment. Noise can occur at any stage of the communication process.
Okay, I want to ask Zahra. How is the good communication skills in your opinion?
I will explain about the requirements of good communication that makes the communication skill is good. I think the most important time to use our communication skill is when we meet someone for the first time. First, we should introduce ourselves with a smile and handshake. After that, conversation should be a balanced two-way flow of dialogue, and one should neither wait for other person to take the lead, nor be over-enthusiastic in greeting, as both send a wrong message. When conversing with others, we should try to equalize our participation as it is a balanced two-way flow dialogue. That's all from me.
Okay. About the conversation starter. Effective communication skills are fundamental to success in many aspects of life. Many jobs require strong communication skills. People with good communication skills also usually enjoy better interpersonal relationship with friends and their family. Effective communication is therefore a key interpersonal skill, and learning how to improve your communication has many benefits. Of course, you need to listen, then understand nonverbal communication. Then one of the most important thing is you need to be aware about the emotion of your opposite. Nico.
Showing empathy to another person's feelings help build a rapport. It's called reaching out to people. Empathy can be shown by making comments such as, "That must be a scary experience for you," or "I felt the same way when that happened to me." You can also say, "I know how you feel," and "I can imagine how you feel." The last one, "I will feel that way too in your situation." That's all for me.
Reacting positive is also builds our good communication skills. The other important thing in conversation is focusing on the opposite aspects. On the positive aspects that draw people's attention in a favorable way, and people enjoy the conversation more. People are generally more attracted to a person who has a positive outlook on life, and when it comes to work evaluations, people with an optimistic outlook generally do better. For example, instead of saying this changing would be awful or I'm always having to relearn and redo everything around here, we better say this changing might have some benefits. Or for the other example, rather than saying the plane has some serious problems or no one ever listens to my ideas, we better say the plane has some good ideas. That's all for me.
Okay, from this session, we can conclude that communications is really important, especially at work environment, to avoid misunderstanding between two or more persons. Therefore, we need to build our communication skill, such as the ability to speak, listen, question, and write with clarity and conciseness. And communication is defined as the process of sharing information, ideas, facts, or emotions between two or more persons. One of important aspects of communication is building relationship while exchanging information. And we can communicate to other person with three types of communication, which are verbal by using speaking and listening skills, and non-verbal by using body language, gestures, how we dress or act, etc. And the other types is written by using emails or letters. Process of communication, one of the examples of communication process, and first a person sends a message, to another person receives the message, three the receiver understands the message, and the last the receiver responds to the message. In this example, the communication includes five elements, which are sender, message, medium, receiver, and feedback. How good are your communication skills? Conversation should be a balanced two-way flow or dialogue, and one should neither wait for other person to take the lead nor be over enthusiastic in greeting as both send a wrong message. The other important things in conversation is focusing on the positive aspects that draw people's attention in a favorable way, and people enjoy the conversation more. And people enjoy the conversation more. Okay, finally we come to the end part of our discussion. We hope that this discussion will be beneficial for you all, and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ini kalau lu pada patah-patah yang salah sinyal gua.
Nge-lag gak? Suara gue masih patah-patah nggak?
Coba tes.
Tes.
Niko.
Nik.
Help me. Clarity and conciseness. Ya, mati.
Pasti mati.
Enggak, belum.
Belum.